All right, so I just got back from watching Materialists, the latest romantic slight comedy, I guess. It's not really a comedy, but romance movie from A24 of all people, which, they don't just do horror movies or thrillers, they do dramas every now and then. So this is from the director of Past Lives, which received tons of critical acclaim a couple years ago. I don't think this one will receive as much acclaim. This is a bit more of a straightforward, basic romance film. But, it's got a good director, so I was excited for it. I went and watched it, and I will say it doesn't necessarily break the mold or do anything new with the romance genre, but it does do it very competently. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit, but it's not like, oh my goodness, this is, profound or anything like that. It's just a nice movie that I could see a lot of people watching on like a rainy day, snuggled up with some hot chocolate or something like that. It's got charming leads in Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal. And it's just, the story is basically this girl played by Dakota Johnson is, she's a matchmaker. So she matches two people and she looks at their analytics and their personality traits and their physical traits and their jobs and all the stuff and all their tangibles and see if they would make a good fit. But she's lost touch of the intangibles and how that can influence romance. And so that kind of leads to the whole love triangle that we got going on here. We got Pedro Pascal, who represents the tangibles, and Chris Evans, who represents the intangibles. So it doesn't really have anything new to say about love or romance that other, romance movies haven't said before. But it is a nice film. It's sweet. It's competently made. It's well acted. It kept my interest throughout the whole thing. My favorite thing about this movie is just how well they did just conversations between characters. And how, even though the story is pretty cliche, they found new and interesting ways to talk about those cliches through the characters. And I don't know, even though technically this movie should have been kind of really lame and boring, I found myself enjoying it. It was fine. It's not, I'm not rushing to see it again, but, if someone I know likes romance movies and, they haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. I think it's a good time. So yeah, not too much to say about this one. I think if you like romances, and again, I'm not saying a romantic comedy. This isn't necessarily a rom-com, but it is very much a romantic drama. And if you like that sort of thing, I think you would like this just fine. But if you're looking for something new, something that challenges the conventions, this isn't that. So you might not like it. Do you need to see it in the theater? Unless you're a big fan and you got nothing else to do and you really don't want to watch How to Train Your Dragon, yeah, you could watch this in the theater. But it's also perfectly fine waiting until streaming. It's not a big budget, movie that you need to see on the big screen. But if you're planning on watching a movie anyway and you don't want to see How to Train Your Dragon, this is a pretty good option if you like romances. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on Materialists.